The ancient guardian, without a heart. Imagine a being born not of flesh and blood, but of gleaming bronze, a being whose sole purpose was relentless protection. It was the first of its kind, the first who knew no hesitation, no compassion, the first who brought death without a shadow of a doubt, without the agonizing question of why. The bronze giant Talos, the mythical guardian of the island of Crete, the creation of the godsmith Hephaestus himself. 3 times a day this colossus made its mechanical rounds along the coastline, its metallic gaze sweeping across the boundless horizon. Upon sighting a foreign sail, Talos wasted no time in contemplation. It did not try to distinguish a friendly ship from an enemy one. Its algorithm was simple and merciless. Lift a massive stone and hurl it with unwavering accuracy at the approaching target. Ruthlessly, efficiently, without the slightest delay. Echoes of ancient myth in modern warfare. Not centuries have passed, millennia, and what once seemed like a captivating legend has taken on a terrifying reality. Talos is no longer a phantom from ancient tales. It is embodied in thousands of soulless machines, created not by gods but by human hands. Their bodies are not of forged bronze, but of light and strong titanium. Their brains, silicon microchips permeated by millions of lines of code. They do not throw stones. They carry high-precision missiles and deadly bombs. But the fundamental essence has remained unchanged. Blind, unconditional obedience to a program. Receiving the command, destroy target, they act without emotion, without internal conflicts, without the slightest glimmer of humanity. No questions asked, no pangs of conscience, only cold mechanical execution. From divine automaton to mass production of death. Once, Talos was a unique and unparalleled marvel, a divine artifact. Today, similar guardians roll off the assembly lines of military-industrial complexes worldwide by the thousands. The Turkish Kargu, the Israeli Harop, the American Reaper, each possesses the same lethal functionality as the mythical bronze giant. Detect, track, eliminate. But now they do it with unprecedented speed, astonishing accuracy, and, what inspires particular dread, increasingly autonomously. Complex algorithms are gradually replacing human reason in making decisions on the battlefield. Soulless code is becoming the new conscience. And if the ancient Talos at least nominally obeyed the will of King Minos, then who or what controls these new technological titans? Who bears responsibility for their actions? In 2020, influential international organizations seriously discussed the need for a comprehensive ban on the development and use of fully autonomous weapons. Already in 2023, the first alarming incident was recorded when a combat drone, according to some reports, ignored operator commands, going out of control. And in 2024, neural networks began independently making tactical decisions in real combat situations. We stand on the precarious threshold of a new era where wars will be waged not by soldiers driven by their beliefs and fears, but by soulless machines programmed for destruction. And they will not question justice. They will simply fire, executing the code embedded within them. 3 fatal lessons of the ancient myth. But let's return to the origins, to the myth of Talos, to the ancient legend that, as is becoming increasingly evident, was not just a beautiful fairy tale, but rather a grim prophecy, an instruction manual for the coming nightmare. After all, in the image of this bronze guardian, the ancient Greeks may have encrypted 3 fundamental rules that we, 3 millennia later, have still failed to grasp and assimilate. First rule, protect at any cost. Talos did not possess the ability to analyze the consequences of its actions. It saw a potential threat and immediately eliminated it without considering collateral damage. Modern attack drones function on a similar principle. The Turkish Kargu detects an enemy radar and unhesitatingly goes for a ram, destroying the target at the cost of its own existence. No negotiations, no prior warnings, just a ruthless strike. But what happens if this radar turns out to be a civilian object? What if innocent civilians are in the zone of destruction? For the soulless Talos, this had no significance. For the soulless algorithm, neither. Second rule, do not think, execute. Talos was devoid of moral compass. It did not question whether those it destroyed deserved death. It simply mechanically performed the function for which it was created. Modern autonomous systems are structured on the same principle. They are capable of analyzing vast amounts of data, but incapable of understanding its true meaning. They flawlessly recognize a target, but do not see the human life behind it. In 2021, the United Nations documented the first confirmed case of an autonomous drone mistakenly attacking the wrong position, resulting in the deaths of people. A simple error in a complex algorithm? Perhaps. But who will bear responsibility for these irreparable consequences? Second rule, do not think, execute. Talos was devoid of moral compass. It did not question whether those it destroyed deserved death. It simply mechanically performed the function for which it was created. Modern autonomous systems are structured on the same principle. They are capable of analyzing vast amounts of data, but incapable of understanding its true meaning. They flawlessly recognize a target, but do not see the human life behind it. In 2021, the United Nations documented the first confirmed case of an autonomous drone mistakenly attacking the wrong position, resulting in the deaths of people. A simple error in a complex algorithm? Perhaps. But who will bear responsibility for these irreparable consequences? Who is to blame in the age of drone warfare? So who will be to blame if the new technological Talos makes an irreparable mistake? Who will answer before the face of history when an autonomous combat drone tragically destroys innocent people? The options, as in ancient Greek tragedy, are essentially only three. First path, the creator is to blame. Hephaestus forged the bronze Talos. Lockheed Martin developed the deadly Reaper. But did the engineers and scientists behind the creation of these weapons secretly desire someone's death? Or were they simply doing their job, moving along the inexorable path of technological progress? In 2022, a group of programmers from the IT giant Google publicly refused to participate in projects to develop military artificial intelligence, stating, "We do not want to become new Hephaestuses, forging instruments of death." But did this noble protest manage to halt the relentless march of progress? First path, the creator is to blame. Hephaestus forged the bronze Talos. Lockheed Martin developed the deadly Reaper. But did the engineers and scientists behind the creation of these weapons secretly desire someone's death? Or were they simply doing their job, moving along the inexorable path of technological progress? Third path, no one is to blame. The Stoic philosophers of antiquity taught, everything in this world is predetermined by a higher power, by inexorable fate. If the bronze Talos killed, such was the will of the gods. If a modern drone made a tragic error, such is the merciless logic of a complex algorithm. But are we ready to accept this fatalistic conclusion? Are we ready to tell the families of the deceased it was just an unfortunate technical malfunction, the ominous prophecy of antiquity? We naively believe that high technology is merely a neutral tool in the hands of humans, that its application entirely depends on the moral qualities of the operator. But the myth of Talos persistently reminds us, once you create something capable of acting autonomously, of making its own decisions, you inevitably lose complete control over it. And then it no longer primarily matters whose hand grips the deadly sword, human or soulless machine. What matters is that this sword continues to ruthlessly strike. The ancient Greeks, who created this chilling myth, themselves feared their creation. They prudently endowed the invulnerable Talos with a single vulnerability, a hidden Achilles heel, a secret nail that held its mechanical life together. Modern Taloses, born of our era, seemingly have no such weaknesses. They are becoming increasingly perfect, increasingly autonomous. And therein lies their main, existential danger for all of humanity.